They're out of my
Travis.
building.
Yeah, call the meeting to order. Is Al on?
Mr.
I
Al.
see.
I'm here. Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
I can hear you.
Great.
Fix my road? No. All right, we had called to order, moment of silence for Tom Lasker, who we will be missing very much so. Okay, may you rest in peace. All right, next, audience of citizens. I don't see anybody on the Zoom, and everybody here is a member. So that's it. Approval of minutes. You had a question on the minutes?
It was only in regards to the percentages that you have down, and I think you've answered the question that the percentages is based on 100 amount of houses, and then whatever houses are in that district, that is what the percentage is, correct?
Water sold, yeah.
Water sold, right.
By each entity.
So it has to be based on customers.
Well, technically, yes, and then, yeah, and water usage based on customers.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't need to be corrected, just
No.
find.
No.
Okay, so how's?
I hope not, but I'm expecting a lot of money.
Make a
So,
motion to pass.
okay, moved by Liam, second.
Second.
Second, Nick. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contrary minds nay. Okie dokie. Minutes are passed. New business, Mattabesset payment status to date.
Relative to the Mattabesset bill, the annual bill is around 2.7 million. And of course, we identified last time the status in terms of cost per utility. To date, that received payment by their district so far, so it's coming late in the year, and they're due by July 1st. So we'll see how it goes. Usually somebody pays me earlier, but nobody's paid me earlier.
Interest drawn.
And we have a wire transfer on July 1st that goes into place with the Mattabesset. And apparently they got a new bank too. So
Yep.
You're using Liberty instead?
Yep.
Yeah, so basically no payment to date from either district.
But it's not due until beginning of July, correct?
July 1st.
Right.
The item 4.2, every 5 years, I believe, they have to issue, the Department of Public Health has to issue, or not has to, but does issue or reissue a permit for excess water. And it was reissued again from the MDC. Our MDC connection is right by Taco Bell and right on Raleigh Street. The Newington side, one side's Newington, the other side's Berlin. And the meter is actually located on the Newington side. We don't necessarily purchase water from MDC, but we have the capacity to purchase about 500,000 gallons per day, if necessary, up to 1 million gallons per day for a period of time. So that was nice to have that renewed. So we have that additional option. Meriden connection. Don't think you're at that point. I think this occurred prior to the town council meeting, prior to the one that we had just participated in. Haley Ward was the consultant who had been given the go ahead and do the design. This is a problem from the perspective that we were originally looking at part of this being included in the DWSRF, the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. However, because of the delays, and the department for some reason has had problems with getting the money out, so we thought it would be better to separate out the design. This would be the design of the water main from Worthington Point Road off the Berlin Turnpike to North Colony. They have a hydrant over there by Lake Lake of I forget the name of the place. Right off the right off of North Colony Road. So that would be about a 2,500 foot connection there. So the Haley Ward was awarded $150,000 for the consultant fee for the design. That would keep us in line for a design by the end of this year, construction potentially in the summer of next year or spring of next year. And then the whole theory of here is we purchase water from Meriden so that we could take the tank out of service the following year, which it has to be during the summer months because of the temperature range. And then take this lamentation tank out of service and repair the corrosion within the inside of the tank. That's the whole intent of that.
How's that tank operating?
Right now, it was operating last week very low, actually, because of the high demand. It actually dropped down. It's a 55 foot tank. It was operating at less than 24 feet, which is pretty low.
So
The lowest I've ever seen
the
it was
temperature-
13, and we purposely brought it down to 13.
Keep in mind that the reason why the cost that he was talking about this, a new tank, previously we were thinking it was $1 a gallon. Now it's upwards of almost 3 or 4 times that.
Yeah.
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 For the
This
same
is a
tank.
2 million
Costs are the
gallon tank, yeah. So it used to be, like you said, $1 a gallon, so a million gallon tank would be $1 million. So recently went to a conference where actually a 500,000 gallon tank costs $3 million. So the ratios changed dramatically, so.
Slight
Last item,
increase.
excuse me?
Slight increase.
Okay. 4.4, town council agenda item for district study. Okay, I get some new news on this one. We were hoping this would be more simple, and I appreciate the staff that attended the last town council meeting. That was good to hear that full discussion with your input. As of this morning, I talked to Kate Wall. It's not very clear that the funding source is identifiable at this point in time. So originally, we thought we were going to go to town council meeting on the 3rd of July and then request a public hearing or townwide hearing. And then that would be for the 29th of July. And then we would have the hearing date. But that's all has been changed because we wouldn't know the finance department if there's money from the surplus money from 24 or if there's a undesignated funds in FY25. This falls just the fiscal year end. And so that's created a problem and time-wise. The other issue that's sort of a problem is anytime a town council has to approve something, the Board of Finance also has to approve it. They're not meeting in August. Town council's not meeting in August, which means it pushes everything back. So we're looking at new dates. We're looking at the town council meeting on September 3rd to set the date for the town meeting, and September 17th meeting for the town council to set the public hearing date, for that day. The town council can, at the same meeting, waive Section 7 of the charter and allow them to vote for it that same night. So that would approve it. And hopefully we would know by that time what the funding source would be from the finance department. Well, hopefully we're thinking it's a surplus from 2024. And then October 8th is a board meeting of the Board of Finance. So we would probably get everything done in the first week of October. So this would be the funding for the Haley Ward and Reptilis to do the study for the three districts, ourselves, Kensington, and Worthington. That's the intent.
September 17th.
September 7th.
36.
And October what?
October 8th. We'll show it in the minutes. That's as of this morning. Now, I haven't had input from Kevin Delaney. If he potentially sees a shortcut to this, he'll let me know, but this appears to be the scenario right now. So I was hoping to move it a little faster, but on the other hand, some movement is better than no movement. And I think we've convinced the town council that it's best that the money be spent from their budget rather than from the Rural and Water Control budget, which is a big thing. It's $140,000. It's a pretty sizable expense.
And pretty much convince them the need to do it.
I think that came through. I think that was
Yeah, I
good.
think so.
They wanted to pass it right then and there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they
they
need a
could've-
funding source. They couldn't pass it right then and there, obviously.
Well, I mean,
Did I end up hearing in that meeting that someone on the council, or if it was the mayor, that they said they have absolutely no authority whatsoever over the Kensington district
Yes.
or
Right. I
the
think you heard correctly.
Worthington Ridge district?
absolutely.
100% correct.
And then,
They're always asking us, actually, every time I show up, they're asking me if there's some mechanism oversight, whether it be DPH, Department of Public Health, DEEP, or OPM, or somebody. And there really isn't, because what they're doing, they haven't been established like we have as an enterprise system. So the enterprise system in our case is a little bit different because in theory, town council and the board of finance shouldn't be able to control us, but we do that more as a practice, I guess, is really, that's the only way I can see it, because we've been told before that because of the independence, we could be able to approve our own budget and operate independently, obviously.
I'm not saying we should stir the pot here, but
I have.
good.
So
Since
that town-
I'm the new guy, I don't want to cause trouble.
So does our
But,
town attorney.
but I mean,
Well, you have a
I
good
don't-
buddy.
I really don't think, having just been like a civilian, that most of the people in the Kensington district, in the Worthington Ridge district, end up realizing what they are really paying, you know, as far as taxes go and
I agree with you.
things like that.
People still get confused. When they call me up, they don't realize that there's three utilities.
Oh, no, they don't.
And then,
They call our office
the other
looking to
thing
pay.
is, we've had people come into our tax office to try to pay the Worthington bill or the Kensington bill. So they obviously don't understand that process as well.
I think from a psychological standpoint, it all comes down to is
Education.
that if you end up getting a statement every single month and you scratch your head and you say, something seems to be wrong here, after a while, you're going to do something about it. When you only get it 4 times a year, you know, my wife has to listen to me for 2 or 3 weeks.
That's why you're here.
And then
That's it. You're doing something
she
about
said,
it.
quit complaining to me. You know, I mean, and then you kind of forget about it
Yeah, it's true.
Until you get the
That's
next
what
bill.
happened.
until I get the next bill, and then I'm off and running again.
And that has been happening for how long? Have we been harping it?
I've been
and
here,
then-
I been in that district 32 years.
There's also a
I was
proposed,
so aware.
I was made aware this morning from our finance directors, copied me on something from Boston, Connecticut Small Towns Association. And basically what they're doing is they're allowing quasi districts, which technically would be the districts, the fire districts, to change their mill rate schedule so that they could bill personal items as well as the real estate. So this is going to be interesting to see.
So you're gonna get more of a tax.
Well,
Just a minute, say that again?
It gives them the option to set another mill rate on personal items.
They're
That
gonna,
would be on your construction items or anything like that.
For a boat,
In their special session that's coming up, that's one of the issues.
you're talking about these other 2 districts?
I should have shared it. I didn't have enough to share it. 'Cause I
Are
just got it
you
this morning.
serious?
Well, if they look at it carefully, they are included in it because they're called quasi-municipal systems technically, because they're fire districts. They're established under the
Okay,
legislature.
so the town is gonna be taxing? Or are they gonna
No,
be
The water
taxing?
district.
They'll have an opportunity to tax differently with the mill rate.
And
so
and
instead
who
of
brought
just
this
having,
up?
Finance director showed me the information that he got from the legislature that showed that that's one of the items that's included in the special session that's being conducted this week. I guess.
so this gives them the option, instead of just taxing your home, you
It'll give them
You
a
can tax
broader
your
authority,
can tax the
broader
boat,
authority for
Your car?
Yeah.
your car.
Well, it once was cars, but now I don't believe they are. Now this would
No,
bring it
This
back
can bring
to
it back.
the personal
The same
item.
thing with a boat.
Yeah.
Bunch
So a
of people-
skidoo or a car boat or whatever else.
Well, they already taxed.
Tractor, anything. So hide that tractor.
No, they already taxing them.
maybe it'll take something like that for
It may be.
for the residents to
Well,
get
they-
up in arms
Well,
and storm one of their meetings, because
Yeah.
when you walk into a meeting now, they look at you like, what are you doing here?
well, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Anyway, it's
Yeah.
something to watch. I'll keep you posted on what happens with the legislation.
Yes, that would be
Um,
interesting.
How long is Haley Ward's pricing good until?
Haley Ward?
Yeah.
Well,
On the report?
on the, actually, it's from last year, believe it or not. So they bid it last year, so it's over a year. They decided to keep it. Actually, I don't know if you caught it. The thing is, there's a 5% increase that they included.
Yeah. I
And
get
then
that.
they wanted a $6,000 additional fee for some hydraulic analysis, which is some hydro testing, which to me is okay. And then we put in a 5% contingency.
Yeah, how good is that?
I think that'll be satisfactory.
Okay.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, I'm just saying with everything being pushed back, who knows how much more?
Well,
Well, we'll see.
let me put it this way. If per se that 140,000, they have, I can't believe it would, on a cost overrun, on a construction project, you could see a cost overrun for something that comes up. But for a study, I'm not sure that I would see a large contingency. But if we had to kick in a few $1,000, I think that would be easily doable on our part. So, but if the town picks up the bulk of the cost, I think that's, and this is supposed to be for the town to service anyway, to get an idea prospectively, what is the conditions of both systems, or all three systems, right?
Which we'll discuss.
Item 4.5, I have to tell you that I hate this time of year only because of the transition from one fiscal year to the next, obviously July. Usually what I do is start running out of money in various accounts. This one obviously was something I couldn't condition myself to. We had to purchase more water from New Britain, so we had to transfer some additional funds for the purchase of water from New Britain and also Cromwell. The second portion of that is that there was some additional fee we had to transfer funds into the power Eversource, and that was a biggie because all our accounts went up slightly more than I anticipated. Nothing I could do about it.
And then we had the power with the generator problem.
Well, that was one thing, but even with that, the power costs went up
So
substantially.
it was a
Well,
combination.
Athabasca got a 46%.
Well, I don't know.
After getting the same one the year prior.
Well,
You
the
get
other
2
thing
years in a
is,
row.
the other thing, the bill, if you're familiar with it, the bill breaks down into two items, source and distribution. And we're arguing with the company that Next Energy out of Texas, they're billing us for the distribution. They said that in two of our sites that we canceled the service and didn't give them enough notice, so they're charging us $2,500. So I called them back and said, no, I said, we're not canceling the service. We had to temporarily disrupt the service. Berlin Turnpike because of the generator problem, and also Deming Road because of the construction problem. So we're not terminating service. We just basically, just stopped it for that period of time, just to switch. So I'm hoping that they were going to look at it and wipe off that $2,500. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, lead copper testing. Last couple of weeks, we are obligated every 3 years to do lead copper testing in the distribution system. We selected about 29. I think we actually got 27 or 26 people who were finally did test. The testing is done by the homeowner. The homeowner, hopefully, the scenario is this, so we give the instructions, collects the first sample of the day. So typically, we would like to see them either the first thing in the morning before anybody uses the facilities to collect the sample. So that would be the first flush of the day for the water sample. Or if that isn't conceivable, then 6 hours, a standing period where there's no usage at all and collect another sample. So we'll have the results hopefully by next month, and then we'll send out notices. 4.7, capital projects discussion. I passed out, you might have seen this a while back, I haven't passed this out in quite a while, a table. This is my best guess maybe, or modification of things that I think we need to do over the years, broken down into two categories, water and sewer, obviously, and other projects. There's certain things that we end up having to do, for instance, with the well field.
Hey, Ray, can I make a request for future meetings? Seeing how Zoom seems to be the way I am able to participate at these moments, if you're going to hand something out, is it possible to get it in advance and digitally for everyone?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry about that, Al. I just did that
Okay.
this morning. So I didn't have a chance.
Or can you share?
Yeah,
Can it be shared on a screen? Can you
you
share?
want me to show it to you?
No, I mean digitally. Can you? All right, yeah, just in the future, if that's possible.
No, yes, in the future I will, and I apologize for that. I did
No
that.
worries.
I did that last minute because I got a list of accomplishments that we had to do, and that prompted my thinking about the 10-year project items. So this is the 10-year project list of items that we've had done and also plan to do. So yeah, I'll send that out to you. I'll have it scanned in and sent out tomorrow.
Thanks.
Can we just take a picture of it and send it to them?
No, that's okay. I'm not going to discuss it in an item per se. I'm just distributing it today, Al. We can talk about it next time. So I'll just send it out to you, and we can put it on the agenda for the next time. As I said, it just dawned on me that I needed to, also because of the potential study, but the study obviously is not going to be coming up necessarily very quickly. So.
You have,
The other item is, Al, I didn't include, but then it was a list of accomplishments. Every year we're required through the town manager's office to list items of what projects that we did. And I can run through them real quickly. We did the update of the sewer pumping station for Berlin with the electrical panel and the generator and so forth. We also provided a new meter just outside of Assaya Abloy for sewer metering from the Assaya Abloy company on Deming Road. We did a repair and replacement of a sewer pump on Orchard Road. This new subdivision, that was the Daddio property on the Berlin Turnpike. We've made connections. The gas station is all hooked up and paid for. They took it out on an amortized 6-year period for payment. And if you go by there, you see that they're really gung-ho on construction. Developer's permit agreement was signed partially for the Berlin Estates Phase 5. That's a 57-unit townhouse unit. And then the developer, Mr. Rustler, just paid $75,000 for the sewer fee connections today. And you can be paying for the water connections at a separate time in several weeks. We're working with Cromwell. We worked with Cromwell Fire District to get another site for connection over by Stan Chem. That didn't functionally work out. Stan Chem decided not to go forward with that. However, Cromwell's coming up across the street behind Walmart over to Division Street and up to Middle Road, I think it is, in Middletown. So they're potentially going to be serving and selling water again for us there as well as Middletown. So all 3 utilities will have a potential a source of supply from Cromwell. Cromwell has probably over 10 million gallons of safe yield. They only use about 2.5 million gallons, so they have quite a bit of excess water that they can sell and provide to others. Established funding for the design of Meriden water connection, as I mentioned earlier. That basically we did get the funds for doing the design of that water line, and basically we would be going through the DWSOF loan again through that process, and probably go to a bidding process first of the year or latter part of the year, depending upon design timing. And then you know that Berlin Water Control, of course, received the Best Tasting Award in Connecticut. So we got that. We sent a sample to AWWA National. Apparently one of the samples was broken. They never gave us the results of the other sample. So we're gonna have to follow up with that and see what happens.
no trip to LA?
But apparently we didn't win, so we'll see. If we did, nobody let us know anyway. Yeah, so that was a summary of the activities that we did, and then they talk about goals too. So goals are something, most of them are long term.
Did we put in Baxter Avenue, right? The meter there?
Yeah, Baxter Avenue too. Yeah, that was actually in the other period, but
You finished it up.
yeah, that's true. That's another item. And let's see, that's the capital projects. OSHA just finally did an inspection. It's the first one that anybody recalls for the last 10 years or so. Was that a comment? Oh, Jim is
I'm
online.
sorry, I just
Yeah.
moved something and it made a noise.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted attention. Sorry.
Just
Anyway,
wanted to make
well, you
sure
came out
everybody
right.
was awake, that's all.
You came right out at the right time because we were talking about the OSHA inspection. So we said an
Yes.
OSHA inspection the other day, the summary. Actually, it went very well. They weren't very critical. One gentleman was here for OSHA and wasn't very critical of the department or the town. Most of the complaints or the problems were associated with the monthly reviews of the fire extinguishers. And there were a couple of other issues, minor issues, a couple of drain lines that were obstacles for walking that need to be fixed over at the highway. And quite a few protocols that needed to be put together. But other than that, it wasn't bad. One thing he was clear about is that the letter will go to the town manager, and the town manager will then request a impromptu meeting. And that impromptu meeting gives us a little bit more time because usually after the OSHA report, you have 30 days to comply with. So this meeting gives you some additional time to negotiate some opportunities if you need to fix something that takes a little longer than that. And I'm entertaining and canceling the July meeting, and then I'm asking for a vote on that. So see if you're interested in canceling it out. We wouldn't have it unless there was something that really came up, but I'm not seeing anything, particularly now with the pushing back of the study back into September. So I'm going to ask you to vote. You want to come in on the 23rd? That's fine.
So we don't have anything that much on the agenda, mostly are
I
all
don't.
updates of our existing projects.
Yeah.
So you don't see anything that much.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If something comes up, are we amenable to having an emergency meeting?
Sure. I think we could keep that same date as an open meeting if it needs to be. I mean, I'm suggesting it now. If something comes up, we can always alter it.
Make a motion that we'll keep that open, and if we need to show up, we'll show up.
I'll second.
You're pretty quick on that, Al.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you. Okay. Last item, old business. Deming Road pump station's moving right along. We're doing pretty good. There's a little bit of an issue. We still have a line, an older line. We're not quite sure. DPC Engineering actually did the evaluation. They sent the camera through there, and we originally thought that we could get away with just we think anyway. We're sharing this with MDC, so I don't know what their feelings are at this point, but the thing is, there was one leaking area that was clearly water that was entering our main wet well. And so as a result of that, when they did the camera work, it actually showed that there were some other conditions where there was some, not major leaking, but some separation of piping. So we were concerned with that. We think maybe relining would be the best thing. Since it's a brand new facility, we think it makes more sense. That would be one way to handle it. The other way, of course, is to just replace the entire pipe, and that would be a lot more construction. So I'm waiting for some cost analysis, but I think relining would make the most sense to do it in this way.
Ray, and it makes sense. It makes sense that that was leaking. It's probably the line that comes from Deming Road into the station over our driveway where we've had all the traffic, old
Right.
concrete pipe and the joints open up, just from the pressure of, vehicles running over it. So
It's definitely from 1960 something, 65, 67, I think, something in that time frame. So it's been a while. And there were some routes that are indicated, but nothing strategic, but there were enough issues that it makes more sense
Needs
to
to
be
be
lined.
addressed.
Yeah. And then Frank Mastriano, most of you don't know Frank, he was working for Nickerson, decided to leave. Very nice guy. He was actually our main man for contact, and he was very helpful. We had some problems with one of our pump stations, and he was able to get some material over there, and that was great. So it worked out really well. So I'm hoping that the next guy he has will be
Is he
just as
retired?
good. I
He's a
don't
young
know.
guy.
He didn't give.
He's a young guy. He's not retired.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he's young.
I wasn't sure what his age was.
Do you know Dan Tiz?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Dan's
How
gonna
would you
take it
know
over.
he's young?
I saw him.
Yeah, but he knows.
Well, he knows.
Works
He knows he's
yesterday.
young.
Okay, we're over that one.
He's younger than me.
We're over it.
He
was on
I
first.
didn't know that, but he was pretty good. Freedom of information status, well, we're pretty much done with that because we could use obviously more information from them, but I doubt that we'll get any more. And what we have is what we have. And then basically, the consultant, Jim Erickson from Haley Ward, felt that there was enough information there, technically and financially, for them to do a decent report. So that we'll be going forward with that. So that's good.
Make a motion to go into executive
You
session.
don't have any other things?
Yeah, actually, I did want to tell you a couple of other items
I'm
to
used
add to.
to you adding items.
Yeah, one more item to, actually, I did this to new business. Item 5.0, safety valve discussion.
Who
You
wants
want a
to
motion
move it?
to put that on the agenda?
So moved.
Okay. Nick.
Second.
Second.
Second, Liam.
Okay,
All in
Liam.
favor, aye?
Yes,
Okay,
safety valve, apparently, and it's still questionable, I'm not exactly sure the actual wording because it was indicated that they are going to be purchased. Aquarian technically owns a safety valve. Safety valve is a portion of Aquarian Water Company. And then that function apparently is being sold to the Regional Water Authority in New Haven. So they're taking on that responsibility. That is kind of new for me. The CEO from Aquarian called me to let me know, and I called him back and we weren't able to touch base. So he's going to fill me in on the details of that. But apparently, I don't know what that means personally because most of our customers do have safety valve, and so do the other two districts. So basically, more to come on that whole issue with safety valve. And they actually, with new customers, they give us a portion of the fees back to us. So that's the only other issue too, is whether they'll be getting fees
All right.
back.
Executive session.
Yeah, the other item's okay. Executive session? Motion?
Motion.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Second.
We'll leave Jim and Al on right now, but we won't record, okay?
I think you are opposed.
No,
Oh,
still,
okay.
Dave moved out of executive session. Second.
Second.
Second, Nick. All those in favor, aye?
All right.
Andre, Mike's nay.
Yep, 7:42.
Okay, now I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion.
Dave?
Dave motions. Liam, Nick,
Second.
second.
Liam, you want to stay longer?
All those in favor, aye?
All right.
Andre, Mike's nay.
Okay, thanks, Al. Thanks.
Thank
I
you,
get to sign
Okay.
this.
Yes.
Take care, Al and Jim.
See ya.
Do you happen to know the date of the August meeting right off the top of your head?